Okay, so now you should be more confident converting grams to moles and moles to grams. In this video, we're going to lock it into memory with lots of practice. In the next video, we'll do grams to moles. So to get the most out of this video, make sure you're using that learning guide, that PDF learning guide. So do the problem and then watch the video. Watch how I do it and make sure you're getting it right. That's really the best way to learn. If these are too easy, move on to the next video. You want to be efficient about your learning. But otherwise, let's practice some mole to gram conversions. So here's our first problem. Convert 3.25 moles of copper 2 sulfate here to grams. And you've got all of the information from the periodic table to figure out that molar mass. Give it a try. So when we find the molar mass for copper, we have 63.55. And that's grams per mole. All of these are going to have the units grams per mole, just like molar mass. I'm not going to write it each time though. Sulfur, 32.07 grams per mole. And then oxygen here, we have 4 of them. So we're going to multiply it times 4, and that's 16 grams per mole. We do the math, we end up with, and the key thing here, that is grams per mole. So now we have our molar mass, moles to grams, multiply by our molar mass, like this. And this is important. We have moles on top here and on the bottom. They cancel out. Then we're left with grams. And that's what we're looking for up here. So you know you set this up right. Do the math, you get 518.6 grams. And that kind of makes sense. Because if 1 mole, gram per mole, 1 mole is 159.6, 3 should be about 3 times that. 450, 500, that's what we got. So you can always estimate, because we know there are 159.6 grams in 1 mole. That's the molar mass. Okay, let's do another one. The wording's a little different, but we're looking for grams and we're given moles of calcium hydroxide. Pause, figure out how many grams we have. So one way to think about this is we have 1 calcium, and then 2, that goes to everything in parentheses. So 2 times the 1 oxygen and 2 times the 1 hydrogen. Then if you add all these up, you'll end up with a molar mass of 74.1 grams per mole. And you can see right away we have 1.15 moles. So if 1 mole is 74.1, 1.15 should be maybe 80 grams. So it's always good to estimate. That helps you catch any errors. So we take our molar mass and we multiply it by 1.15. And this is just a number I made up for the problem here. Nothing special about that. So we multiply here by the molar mass, moles on top and the bottom. They cancel out and we're left with grams, and we get 82.2 grams of our calcium hydroxide. And if you think about it, if you're a chemist and you're trying to do an experiment, you can weigh this number out on a scale. You can't really do that with moles. So the conversion can be really useful. All right, let's do another one. Find the number of grams in 1.2 moles of NaCl. We're given our moles here, we're looking for grams. Pause and do this one. So here we have 1 sodium and 1 chlorine, so we just add these 2 numbers here together. That'll give us our molar mass, which is 58.44 grams per mole. Now we multiply 1.20 times the molar mass. That'll give us grams, like this. So we have our molar mass and 1.20, just a number I made up for the problem. Moles on top and the bottom cancel out. We're left with grams. We do the math, we get 70.12, let's call it 70.1, and the units, the grams. So we know we did it right. So hopefully this is getting kind of easy. If you're canceling out the units correctly, you'll always be left with what you're looking for. So that makes it so you know you did it correctly. All right, let's do another one. Pause and convert 0.72 moles of this ammonium sulfide to grams. And often you'll see moles written as just MOL. Kind of the abbreviation there. Give it a try. So for this one, remember this 2 goes to everything here. So we have 2 nitrogens, and 2 times 4 is 8. 8 hydrogens, and just the 1 sulfur there. So make sure you do that correctly. And you can do your multiplication, add everything up. You're going to end up with a molar mass of 68.17 grams per mole. And again, we can estimate if 1 mole is 68.17 grams, and we only take 0.72 of that, maybe around 50. Let's give it a try. Moles on top and the bottom, left with grams. We get 49.1 grams. So pretty close to the 50 we estimated. And note there's 2 significant digits here, so you might even just call this 49 grams. So when you're converting from moles to grams, you have to be careful. Make sure you get the molar mass correct, especially with something like aluminum sulfate here. So we have 2 aluminum atoms, and then we have 3 times the 1, so we have 3 sulfurs, and then 3 times 4 is 12. 12 oxygen atoms. So multiply, add everything up, you get a molar mass of, for our aluminum sulfate here. So now we have the moles, that's the number I made up here, and we just multiply by the molar mass, which we just figured out, like this. Moles, they cancel out on the top and the bottom, left with grams. Our final answer, 30.8 grams. So now you can convert from moles to grams quickly and effectively. Let's go back the other way in the next video, grams to moles. Here we're multiplying to get from moles to grams. In the next video, we divide. Let's do it.